Hi, Allison. Would it be helpful for you to be made co-host?
No, that's all right. I don't need to be, but thank you for asking.
Okay, cool. I
Hi,
usually
Allison. Would it be helpful for you to be made co?
um
Think
so I
someone,
usually go around and try to mute people who leave their mics open on accident. But
that's always appreciated. Thank you.
Hi, Judy. Are you there now? I see you connected to the audio.
Yeah, I'm here. Um, Anybody else new sign up?
No new signups, and just to let you know, we are live on YouTube currently.
Okay. It looks like Peter Gould wants to be admitted.
Yeah, I'll admit everyone in the waiting room at 1 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Sounds like everything's okay. Thank you, Allison, for being here.
Thank you, Miss Amer.
Good afternoon, Judith. This is Peter Gould.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
Good, yeah.
Does the commission want us to have our audio on, or are there bandwidth considerations that we can just participate by audio?
I think that you can have your video and audio on if you choose, or not, you know.
Okay.
We've had a lot of people when we hosted on YouTube, and they've had, you know, it's been a combination and it hasn't been a problem.
Okay. Okie doke. Well, I'm going to turn off the audio until we start.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're still waiting for Commissioner Fishman. Hopefully he will be here shortly. If not, we may have to start. Oh, Commissioner Maestas is here. So we could start when he's after Commissioner Maestas is admitted.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Judy. This is Anastasia Stevens.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, but I just got a message that my internet is unstable. So if I start to go unstable, I guess I might end up phoning in or doing whatever.
Yeah, well, right now I am
Hoping for the
using,
best, and I expect this to be brief, but
yeah, it's interesting. I've found that my internet at time gets unstable, so I've started to use my phone, and it's worked better, but I don't know why.
Well, your image is shaking a little bit, but I don't know whether that's my problem or yours.
It's probably mine.
Friday in the afternoon in the summer, who can expect
Yeah,
to
right.
work in Santa Fe, right?
It's the heat. So let's see, is Commissioner Fishman is here and Commissioner Maestas as well. So with that, I will start the public hearing. Can we go on the record now? This is the public hearing in the matter of a commission rulemaking regarding NMPRC Rule 17.5.440 NMAC, extensions, improvements, additions, and cooperative agreements between or among utilities, and 17.9.592 NMAC, location of large capacity and transmission lines, case number 21-00177 UT. This is being broadcast on YouTube, and was the notice was issued pursuant to the notice of proposed rulemaking. And with us today, we have Commissioners Maestas and Fishman, and I would like to open it up to them to either conduct the hearing, or they could designate me to conduct the hearing. And if they want to make any introductory remarks, this would be the time. So with that, who would like to go first? Commissioner Fishman or Maestas?
I'll let Commissioner Fishman go first. I think his assistant really took the ball and ran with this. So go ahead, Commissioner Fishman, and then I'll just offer a few remarks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everybody for showing up and giving public comments. We're always looking for ways to improve. And even if sometimes we get a little stuck in our ideas, over time, when you guys keep contributing, we keep improving the rule as a result of your input. So thank you for doing this. And in addressing this rule, I think it's pretty clear there's going to be increasing investment in distribution and transportation, a lot of expenditures that potentially could go under just focus on Rule 440 and be reported. And looking at records in the past, the 440 reporting hasn't necessarily been very close to the actual expenditures that happen. And we haven't had much visibility on it for all the expenditures that go into it. So it can catch us by surprise when it comes to rate making time and we see all the investment that's been made that's gone as really sort of a notice under the current Rule 440 and not really understanding what it all means for consumers and total investment and so forth. So hopefully this rule making will help us address some of those issues and improve the Rule 440 going forward. So I don't really need to say much more than that. I'll hand it over to you, Joe.
Thank you, Commissioner Fishman, and thank you everyone for participating in the update of these rules. It's been a while since we last updated them. And I know that certain aspects, at least from my perspective, certain aspects of Rule 440 have been a source of maybe contention, ambiguity, specifically with respect to safe harbor. We had some cases there where I think there was a varied interpretation of what safe harbor is and how it applies to either existing right-of-way or acquired right-of-way in conjunction with a proposed renewable energy project. So again, I just want to thank everyone. We just here at the agency want to keep current these rules and make sure that they make sense and that they apply and that they're consistent. As Commissioner Fishman said, sometimes the capital information doesn't jive with what's being reported in the under the 440 rule. So so I look forward to a better rule that's going to work fairly and appropriately for everyone. So thank you. And I don't know, Commissioner Fishman, I'm in favor of having Judy, run the hearing. If you're okay with that. I wasn't sure what your preference was, but I'm okay with Judy moderating.
Well, clearly you don't trust me with that responsibility. So, and quite frankly, I don't trust myself with that responsibility either. So I'm going to pass it over to Judy and we'll get this thing done right.
Well, luckily I trust myself to run properly. Now that I said that, all the pressure is on me. Just as a brief introduction, and I'm sure everyone here probably already knows this, but on April 20th, 2022, the notice of proposed rulemaking was issued by the commission, which set the following deadlines. Submitting initial written comments by June 3rd, 2022, responses by June 30th, 2022, and reply comments will still be allowed on July 22nd, 2022. There was a public workshop noticed and held on June 6th, 2022, and a lot of you attended that, and I thought it was personally very helpful. The public hearing, which we're having today, is on July 15th, 2022. And the hearing is held to receive oral comments. Commenters who have not submitted written comments, as well as commenters who have submitted written comments, shall be allowed to speak. And commenter speaking time may be limited, subject to the discretion of the commission. There's no testimony or other evidence taken at this hearing. A court reporter is here preparing a transcript. The last important thing is the record closure date is August 5th, 2022. And with that, I will go to the list of people who signed up, and if you requested a Zoom invitation, you also may make a comment besides the people that I have on this list. And the first person on the list is Anastasia Stevens.
Good afternoon, Judy and commissioners and everybody else. I'm Anastasia Stevens. I represent the city of Las Cruces, and I mostly am here to thank you for conducting this proceeding. I feel perhaps unfairly or maybe correctly that the city's concerns raised in El Paso Electric's last general rate case concerning the absence of Rule 40 reports helped to inspire this proceeding. I know that Chairman Mastis had things to say about it during the deliberations. And yes, indeed, this rule both is somewhat aged and has not been applied consistently, followed consistently by the utilities, and has not been necessarily enforced by the commission. So we should see this as an opportunity to obtain more and better and more pertinent information. Now, the precise reasons for which the commission wants that information somewhat remain to be seen. And there have been legitimate concerns raised about excessive or repetitive reporting requirements in the rule. We're not saying that it needs to be exactly this way. As our last round of comments stated, we are concerned about trying to create a rebuttable presumption of imprudence, both for legal reasons and for practical reasons, that we fear that might inspire overinflated estimates. And you know, we want good information here. The value of these reports is that they are presumably very timely. They should represent what the, the information that the utilities themselves are relying on as they go into these projects. The exact fine points of that timing, again, remain to be seen, but it's important. And just like all other commission rules, it's pardon me, extremely important that there be consistency, because unfortunately, these two commissioners and the current commission are not going to be here next year. There always will be turnover at the utilities, at staff, at the commission, amongst those of us who are interveners. So consistency, clarity is essential, because there's no other way to make anything mean anything worthwhile. And again, I thank you very much for doing this. I know it's been a long haul, but I do trust that the end result will be beneficial to everybody, hopefully even to the utilities themselves, because it makes everybody think. And I thank you.
Yes, well, thank you. And we appreciate your comment. Next on the list, I had Nancy Burns. Is Nancy present, or anyone else for El Paso Electric?
I'm present. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello. Hi, Judy. Maybe I'm having internet issues too, because my camera should be on, but I do not. Can you guys see me?
Let's see. I see you.
Okay. All right. Great.
And I see the fluorescent lights in the office and everything, right?
All right, great. It's nice to see you guys, Commissioner Fishman and Maestas. Thank you for being here today. I really did not sign up to make additional comments, Judy. I sort of echo Anastasia's comments. We appreciate working on this rule. I think there's tons of common ground that's been reached through the workshop and the comment period. And I'm unless anyone has any questions at the end, I don't think I'll take up time repeating EPE's comments.
All right, thank you very much. Next on the list is Peter and/or Kelly Gould.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Fishman, Commissioner Maestas, Ms. Amer, and colleagues. I'm Peter Gould. I represent New Mexico area, which is the Affordable Reliable Energy Alliance of large consumers. And unlike most of the times when lawyers say this, they're lying, but I will be brief. We have had a lot of discussions as this rulemaking has gone on among the board members. So this has been a very active concern. I want to just state very briefly, we filed 3 rounds of comments. We totally support the commission's expanded informational filings in the proposed rule. We think that having an annual report, for instance, will give us a lot more cogent information rather than sort of the spotty information that the commission receives under the current version of the rule. But for reliability and timeliness concerns, we do not support the proposal that the commission has made in the NOPA rule to make the Rule 440 filings more than informational. We just think that that will slow the process. My clients are in the process of expanding into Mexico, thank goodness, because we've seen lots of years where there's not been much economic development. And we need to have these projects, these mostly transmission interconnections, turned around on a relatively quick basis. So if the commission is intending some of the language in the rule that we addressed in our latest comments to sort of be a pre-approval process, we think that is not a great idea, and that will slow down the process. And we do think that if the information can be updated and be correct in those reports, that the commission has ample opportunity in the rate cases that utilities file to regulate overinvestment in plant or gold plating or any other concerns that might occur. But so those are my comments, and we thank you for basically doing the hard lifting on this and accepting our comments and trying to come up with a rule that really modernizes what we need in this day and age of increasing investment in utility plant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are you referring to, I believe, 440.8F, the cost recovery presumption portion of the rule in your comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Ms. Amer, and you can see this on pages 4 and 5 of our June 30th response comments, where we cited section 17.5.448D1 and 8D2. We think those are problematic. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we knew exactly what you were referring to, and appreciate your comments.
And Ms. Amer, we did provide a marked up red line version of the clean version of Rule 440 that has our deletions and our proposed additions.
Okay, well, thank you. Next person I have on the list is Philip Metzger.
Good morning, or good afternoon, I guess. Miss Amer.
Or Deborah Terwilliger. There's, I believe you're both from PNM.
Yes, I'm here on behalf of PNM. Thank you, Miss Amer, and thank you, commissioners and others for hearing our comments. I'm going to keep it brief. We do appreciate the comments that have been received in this proceeding, and we agree that it's time for an update to Rule 440. I think, as others have noted, the workshop really, which I didn't attend, but Ms. Padilla did, certainly indicated there was extensive common ground, and we support the discussion at the workshop that indicated that Rule 440 is meant to, remain as a purely informational process. PNM did file very brief response comments. Generally speaking, EPE and its response comments marked up the rule and took many of the initial edits that PNM made in its initial comments, and we would support EPE's red line in its response comments, but also support many of the proposals that SPS has put forward. So thank you, Ms. Amer. And I'm open to, we'll be on, and if anybody has any questions for PNM, we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe from New Mexico Gas Company, Rebecca Carter requested an invitation. Does Rebecca Carter want to make a comment?
So, Ms. Amer, commissioners, this is Brian
Yes.
Haverly. I'm
Okay.
on. Ms. Carter is here with me, and I'm on behalf of New Mexico Gas Company. And I was going to speak a little bit. If that's okay, I'll just do it now.
That would be perfect.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Like I said, my name is Brian Haverly. I'm here on behalf of New Mexico Gas Company. Our comments are very similar to what we already filed, which is we're fine with everything the commission's doing. The one thing that we would suggest is to change the annual report date because, to further reiterate, New Mexico Gas Company does a lot of its planning for the following year in the first quarter, especially the first 2 months of the year, because that's when the heat load season is going. So we don't do any construction during that time, or we try to minimize the construction. So if we could just push that date back for the annual report, we will be able to give you much better information, more thorough information in that annual report. So that would be our personal recommendation, because by that point we'll have a much better idea of our construction schedule for the following year. And that's all my comments.
Thank you. Appreciate your comment. Well, those are all the people that I had signed up. Does anyone from staff want to make any comment at this point? I see that we have David Black and Jack Sidler here.
I don't have any comment tonight.
No comment from me.
All right, thank you. We have from SPS, Erica Kane. Does SPS want to make a comment?
Good afternoon. We do not have any additional comments beyond what we filed in our fairly extensive written comments, but want to echo what others have said and thank the commission for their time and efforts they've put into this matter. And we're available for any questions.
And I see we have Dan Najjar here. Would you like to make a comment, or you don't have to, just checking?
Yeah, thank you, Judy. I would have to defer to Kevin Grunwald for the co-ops on this, and I think he's on as well.
Oh, that's correct. Kevin, would you like to make a comment?
Thank you, Judy and commissioners. We didn't file formal comments in this proceeding, but the inquiry that we filed, I believe it was last August 25th of last year. Pretty uniform across the co-ops. We don't know if there's a need for any additional reporting, but all co-ops do what's called a 4-year construction work plan. Probably could certainly make those available, but they're pretty lengthy. But that gives depending where you're at in the work plan, a 1 to 4 year look forward on what we foresee as what we're going to expend our RUS funds on as far as expanding and upgrading our systems. So I guess I'd leave it at that and answer any questions anyone may have.
Thank you. The last person I have that hasn't signed up, but Mr. Chuck Pinson, I'm not sure, are you with gas company as well?
Judith, no, I'm with Central Valley Electric Co-op, and I support what Kevin said. Everything is good with me.
Okay, thank you. Well, with that, I would turn it back to Commissioners Maestas and Fishman to see if they have any further comments or questions.
No further comments from me, but it's always encouraging to hear that there's a lot of common ground when it comes to these rules. So that makes me happy. So yeah, I have no comments. Thank you.
I have a couple comments. One, I'm very sympathetic to the comments about making the rule administratively as streamlined and simple as possible. When things are streamlined and simple, they tend to get executed. When they're not, sometimes other things happen. And so I really take to heart the comments about that from Anastasia and from Peter. Thank you. I know I'll be looking real closely at how we simplify and make sure that the way the rule gets executed, it doesn't get in the way of getting the juice to the consumers, keeping the lights on. So appreciate the comments, and I think we will be doing some more fine tuning in response to the comments. And thank you for being so constructive.
Before I wrap it up, I want to make sure that everybody made all the comments pertaining to both Rule 440 and Rule 592. I didn't hear any specific comments regarding Rule 592, except I did hear cross references to filed comments. So I will take it that the filed comments written comments will suffice for Rule 592. If I'm wrong, somebody should speak up now. Well, hearing nothing, if it's okay with Commissioners Fishman and Maestas, I would conclude the public hearing now.
One final comment. This was way too easy. It just feels wrong.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I think we tired them out on all the other myriad of things we're doing, right?
Oh, so for once we wore them out instead of vice versa. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank
everyone.
you. This concludes the public hearing.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.